Instead of boys and girls, how about ladies and gentlemen? Or how about just gentlemen, actually? There are no women on my Facebook page for obvious reasons. So the test is the same, but the damper's been replaced. The previous damper was a Santhuf drag race specific damper that I know absolutely nothing about. This is a damper that I built. We call this the Frankenstein damper. It's built out of a lot of different pieces, some of them custom machined, some of them from Bilstein, some of them from Fox, some of them from Owens, some of them from my parts drawer. Anyway, to make a long story short, this was a damper that was designed for high-speed airport racing, where there's a lot of bumps, and the idea was to keep the car from bottoming and using up suspension travel in those instances with those very abrupt bumps. And so acceleration sensitivity was a major priority. And of course, the point of the previous video was to display acceleration sensitivity. And this run is meant to give a comparison between a damper designed specifically to work particularly well in that instance, and one that, well, I don't want to say because I'm not sure what their design parameters were. But in any case, the one thing I want to point out is that due to space constraints and not having the car here at the time that I built this, we had to use a relatively long hose, which offsets a lot of the work that was done inside of the damper to decrease the acceleration sensitivity. So it was a bit of a trade-off, but you know how it goes. Sooner or later you got to get to the racetrack. You have to stop fucking around and just make shit work. So that's what we did. Click some buttons. Hope this fucker doesn't explode. And here we go. Alright, test over. Let me save that. Alright, so let's see. Do this again. Maybe change the color. Alright. So in red is the previous damper that was very heavily rebound biased. And so most of the activity is below the zero force point down here, and you can see how the force tapered off as frequency increased. Now the damper actually came off of the front of Tony's GTR that was designed specifically to have better acceleration sensitivity. You can see it's holding on pretty good up through, well, the majority of the range, and the forces finally start to taper off very slightly. But the damper is still making probably, I should have checked before I made the video, but it's probably still at 80% by the time it gets to 50 hertz. And so, also you can see that, I don't know if you can see my cursor, sorry. This being the zero force point, I'll dial in here a little more. This damper is heavily compression biased at about a 2-to-1 ratio. In any case, there's a visual representation of the difference in sensitivity, acceleration sensitivity between a pair of dampers. And in case you're wondering if there's a single parameter that can be used to quantify that acceleration sensitivity that might be used to predict actual behavior of the vehicle, the answer is yes. And to further that, there's no fucking way I'm going to tell you, because this is something I've been working on for almost 3 years now. But there it is. And one more thing, if you found this enjoyable, man, are you a fucking geek. But hey, that's alright. Thanks to Facebook, we can all stick together. Bye.